fun. This. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I've...
That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the f***? I can't see anything.
Get ready to enter the shadows of the night, where stealth camping takes a terrifying turn. Hidden trails, unexpected footsteps, and encounters that will haunt your mind. These 6 stealth camping experiences push the limits of fear and survival. Pay attention, because these stories might stay with you long after the night ends. The channel, Sort of Interesting, is known for wild camping, stealth camping, and outdoor adventures. But in a video uploaded on February 20th, 2025, a trip that was supposed to be a peaceful solo camp didn't stay that way for long. It quickly took a terrifying and unexpected turn. Dan Brown, the owner of the channel, headed out after dark with a heavy backpack, already knowing it had rained earlier and his worn-out shoes were barely hanging on. Still, he kept going, hoping for a quiet night alone in the hills. To stay low-key, he packed everything inside his bag instead of strapping gear to the outside, and he kept his head torch on a dim setting to save battery. As he pushed deeper into the forest, the weak light and the weight on his back started messing with his senses. After about an hour, he stopped to cook some pasta, pesto, and cheese. When Dan briefly switched his torch to full beam to film the area, something unexpected happened. A car pulled up on a nearby road above the woods, and a strong light began sweeping through the trees.
Just shining the torch round on full beam, showing like the woods to the camera. Some car somewhere on a road up there stopped, and I swear a torch shone into the trees, obviously from well above my head, but it's just spooked me a bit. Oh man, my heart is going. I swear the car that I just mentioned pulled up and somebody has got out. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I'm trying to tell myself that, but I am really, oh my goodness me. I know.
The beam moved slowly, scanning across the forest and straight toward where he was standing. He dropped low, convinced that whoever was holding the light was searching for something or someone.
This isn't fun. This. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I've... I don't know if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down. They are literally... Can you see this on the ground? They're literally looking straight at me. I know. I don't know what to do. I'm literally crouched. I'm sat on the ground. Right, the camera off.
Eventually, the vehicle left. Dan waited a bit before moving on, switching to a red light to stay less visible as he made his way toward the hills. By the time he reached higher ground, thick fog was rolling in. After walking 16 miles throughout the day, he found a sheltered spot, and for a moment, everything felt calm. But suddenly, out in the distance, he started hearing noises echoing faintly through the mist.
What's happened in the last sort of 20 minutes, I've heard voices. Thought I heard quad bikes or dirt bikes, something like that. Heard a shout. I thought perhaps I didn't hear the shout at first, but I've just been hearing a car alarm go off in the distance, and I'm just wondering if there is any mischief afoot, because I saw a thing on Facebook about there being some trouble going around the area, and if people have parked up on the back lanes and stuff, I don't know, but I don't want to be out here potentially in the middle of that either.
On their own, the noises were nothing, but after what had happened earlier, and with reports of recent trouble in the area, they hit him harder than they normally would. Eventually, Dan chose to pack up and head back, walking several more miles through the cold night. What was supposed to be his first successful solo wild camp ended up becoming his first failed attempt. Will's Whereabouts is a channel that takes viewers off the beaten path, showing how to make the most of vehicle camping, stealth setups, and unexpected outdoor adventures. However, a video uploaded on January 10th, 2021, quickly took an unexpected turn, turning what should have been a simple evening of cooking and setting up camp into a night full of surprises. This time, Will decided to stick closer to home, heading to the beautiful, familiar countryside of Box Hill. After arriving at the site, he took a moment to take in the quiet of the surrounding woods. The car park had only a few cars, and the fading light painted long shadows across the trees. The night also started quietly as Will cooked some homemade fajitas on his outdoor setup and tested a few small upgrades to his gear. Parked at the top of the National Trust car park, he found a hidden spot among the trees and carefully arranged his sleeping area. As temperatures dipped toward -1, he fired up a small gas stove to warm the air inside the car, and for a while, everything felt calm, until something horrifying happened.
Freezing cold! There are some absolute plums doing donuts in the car park. Let me see if I can show you. So now, from now on, I won't kill myself or pull myself. Christ almighty. So tonight's stealth camp is actually in a place which I'm very familiar with. I haven't actually... Tonight's stealth camp sounds like I'm at a bloody drag race.
People in the parking lot were going berserk, shouting and moving around in ways that made it impossible for Will to focus. Every few seconds, a new noise pulled his attention, and Will kept glancing over his shoulder, tense and alert, wondering what might come next. Thus, he decided to sleep early, but then something happened that caught him completely off guard. Without warning, strange noises broke the silence. At first, he couldn't tell what they were. Sharp, distant screams echoed through the woods, not animal howls, but enough to make him freeze.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight. There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming. Wish me luck, everybody.
The screams didn't seem close enough to be an immediate threat, yet they weren't far enough to ignore. He stayed still inside the car, straining to hear, as the shouts came in bursts, stopping and starting again, each pause stretching his nerves tighter. By early morning, everything had changed. Birds sang in the crisp air, and the quiet of the car park felt almost ordinary again. Yet the night had left its mark. It reminded Will that vehicle stealth camping isn't just about comfort or gear. Even the smallest, unexpected sounds can transform a calm evening into something unforgettable, demanding preparation, patience, and a steady nerve. Small Plots is a channel focused on finding small plots to camp and experience unusual spots. This video was uploaded on August 6th, 2025, and it was about to turn out unlike any other. That day, the creator of the channel, Kevin, headed to the edge of the city on a hazy summer day, ready for a spontaneous stealth camping adventure. With his e-bike in tow, he navigated through small bike passages in search of a hidden patch of woods. He began by scouting the area, weaving through trails. The surroundings were far from serene, and Kevin documented the unusual behavior of passers-by with a mix of curiosity and caution while staying focused on finding a secure camping spot. The tension built as Kevin moved under vines and around obstacles, carefully placing his e-bike out of sight and preparing his sleeping setup. As he set up, interruptions started immediately. Cars drove in and out of the area, and groups of people walked along the trails, talking loudly as they passed. Over time, nearly 50 people moved through the area at different moments. Each time Kevin heard footsteps getting closer, he quickly stepped off the trail and hid in the bushes. The repeated movement made him nervous. At one point, people passed close enough that he worried they might notice his hidden e-bike.
I hear somebody coming up the trail. I don't like that at all. Okay, so what I have to do, I can't go through this with my pack as it is. I gotta crawl underneath these vines and stuff. And then it looks like it opens up a little bit more. Luckily I'm seeing but minimal poison ivy. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how to get my bikes through that next. But first, let's find where I'm going, and then I'll go there. That guy is still there. I can see his, I don't know if the camera's picking up on his red truck. And I saw him walking back towards this area, like through the trees. I don't know if I'm sure he heard me. That was so loud. Whatever. Hopefully he's less sketchy than I am.
He kept a careful eye on the trail until they moved on, then set up his tarp and cooked a modest meal of locally beloved ziggles, red pop-open hot dogs wrapped in a tortilla. However, as Kevin cooked, strange voices carried through the area, making him keep glancing over his shoulder and leaving him increasingly uneasy.
There's definitely someone or something. It could be an animal looking around over there. And my mind, of course, goes to the guy who is still there. And to make matters more matterable, I don't know, the cameras, I'm sure, not picking up on it, but if someone were to walk down these old rusty rails here just exploring, not that I expect them to, it's getting, kind of late in the evening, but if they did, they could just look over and see me. I'm not very deep in the forest. I probably could go a little bit deeper. It looks more poison ivy-y, more visible to that park area, and I'd be leaving the bike behind. So I think I'm going to stay put in this.
He eventually finished setting up his resting spot and lazed for a while, trying to shake off the unease, until he noticed another man near his location, walking closer. Will held his breath, frozen as the figure drew nearer, every sound amplified in the quiet area.
Okay, there's another guy, a new guy, who parked, and I've watched walk into the woods and out of the woods and then back in. Keep in mind, when I say woods, there's a trail. It's not like he's going into the forest, and he's walking back out again. So it's like into the trail, in the forest, out of the trail, in, out, in, out. He's going back now. Oh, there's like 2 or 3 more vehicles now. Yeah, I don't know. Other than like maybe checking for possible fishing spots. Not that I think people are planning on going for long walks. If they're walking back and forth between their vehicles, and he's gone. Just pulled away. What is happening? What is going on?
Kevin continued to watch the trail for anyone passing close by. Minutes later, he heard something moving along the trail, crashing through the brush and making unmistakable noises that sent a shiver down his spine.
I think there's somebody on the trail, so I'm gonna wait a minute. I heard a kid or a dog or something. Yeah, alright, I think we're fine. Somebody's coming back. I'm looking at somebody right now. Look at me. Somebody's looking at me right now. Yeah, they're looking right at me. Their dog barked. I can't see him on the camera, but I can see him with my eyes. We're looking at each other. I'm just gonna like slowly go down.
Even in this sketchy urban location, Kevin felt a chill crawl up his spine when something rustled near his setup. For a moment he froze, heart thudding, certain it was trouble. But as the shadow crept into view, he realized it was only a small woodchuck nosing curiously around.
That happened. Okay, so I think those people left. I'm not really worried about them. But I heard of something running towards me, chicka 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 chicka, and a little baby woodchuck started running at me, ran under my chair, and then up and into a hole over there. I'm audibly went like, wow! Oh man, that guy was not expecting me to be here. I've never had that happen.
By morning, Kevin prepared to leave, mindful of both his e-bike and the minimal space he had occupied overnight. Despite the limited sleep and occasional disturbances, he highlighted that the key to enjoying small plots was adaptability, preparation, and embracing the unpredictability of each location. The channel, Urban Rats, is known for camping places that most people would never dream of visiting. In this episode, uploaded on February 8th, 2025, Paul chose a brand new billboard in Bolton for the night, a high, exposed perch that promised quiet. But something about the night instantly felt off, though he couldn't tell why. He climbed up carefully, every step making his heart race, and spread a tarp over the rail to block the lights and the wind. The city below glittered innocently, but the height and isolation made the silence feel unnatural. Even without a proper meal, Paul tried to settle in, but shadows shifted beneath him, and distant noises kept gnawing at his nerves. It felt like something was watching, just out of sight. And at around 1 a.m., the quiet was shattered. Loud music blared from somewhere below, accompanied by footsteps and the crackle of a small fire.
Someone's blasting some tunes out. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm gonna go and investigate. There's somebody just at the side of this porta cabin here.
Paul's stomach tightened as he noticed a man wandering near the edge of the lot, moving without purpose, sometimes stopping to peer into the dark. Each pass made Paul freeze, every small movement feeling like a threat. At one point, the man came dangerously close to the rails, paused, and looked straight up, directly at him. For a long, tense few seconds, Paul held his breath, heart hammering, until the figure finally turned away and vanished into the night.
He's over there, burning the fire up. See? He's got a fire burning. Look. ambulance over there. Yeah, he's burning fires, look, he's throwing them about the yard. There's the guy. That's that guy. That is the guy what's just been in this yard. No way.
After that, Paul barely slept. Every little rustle in the dark, every distant shout or snap of a branch made him jump, his nerves on edge all night long. The night felt alive with unseen threats, and the city below transformed into a maze of danger and shadow. By morning, frost coated everything, and Paul carefully slid down the rails using a sheet as a makeshift rope, moving quickly to disappear into the streets as if he'd never been there. It had been a cold, nerve-wracking night, full of small scares and moments that tested his courage. Paul had climbed a billboard, stayed alive, and made it through. But the echoes of those footsteps, the flashes of fire, and the feeling of being watched lingered long after he left. On March 20th, 2025, the channel Sort of Interesting shared yet another unsettling encounter. The creator, Dan Brown, arrived at a quiet riverside spot, knowing the evening would get chilly. So to keep his pack light, he left a few things behind before wandering along the riverbank to find a comfortable place for a simple meal. When it was time to settle in, he carefully arranged his bivvy. Without a proper sleeping bag, he layered an old mummy bag with a worn envelope bag for extra warmth. As darkness fell, small movements and flickering lights in the surrounding woods caught his attention. At first, it was just distant torches, but soon someone started moving closer.
Okay, friends, there is definitely somebody about here. Yeah. So you might be able to see there is somebody walking towards us.
A dog walker appeared unexpectedly, forcing Dan to sneak through the nearby village to get back to his bivvy without being seen. Even while his gear and sleeping setup were briefly separated, he stayed calm, keeping his focus on the task at hand. Eventually, he returned to the bivvy under a starry sky. Using a small phone light, he stayed alert to every rustle and snap of leaves, the forest alive with subtle, unnerving sounds. But then, just as he thought he would settle down for the night, something truly disturbing happened.
100% being spotted. Right, I'm trying to keep calm and keeping calm. I'm almost too scared to breathe here. Oh, that's right. They're looking straight at me. Right, I'm trying not to panic. Hello? Right, I'm just going to use the phone light now, and I'm just going. They haven't been about, I haven't seen a single light now for maybe 5-10 minutes. I don't even know. I've been just trying to keep as calm as possible, but when they walked off and the light went out, I don't even know which direction they were, but somewhere in that direction.
His stealth camp had been spotted and blown, putting him far closer to trouble than he ever wanted to be. By the end of the night, Dan packed up quickly, careful not to draw attention, but the experience reminded him why he loved these trips. It had been a night of careful planning, unexpected surprises, and quiet moments of peace that only time outdoors could provide. The channel, called Ads Ventures, is known for documenting adventurous road trips, van camping, and car camping. But on October 31st, 2022, The creator, Ads, decided to visit a supposedly haunted woodland, and what started as a routine evening exploration slowly turned into a night filled with unexpected tension and eerie surprises. He had planned to arrive before dark to scout the area. Unfortunately, daylight was slipping away faster than expected, and he had to make do with what little light remained. The nearest he could park the van was along a small road near the cemetery, which bordered the woods. From there, he would continue on foot. According to local lore, the cemetery was haunted by restless spirits. The story went that he eventually walked into the woods one night and took his own life, making the area feel even more haunted. Intrigued by this, the adventurer pressed on into the woods with a sense of excitement mixed with caution. He carried a small stove, planning to make hot chocolate or a chai latte, joking that the smell might even lure in a few ghosts. He found himself frequently stopping, trying to distinguish normal woodland sounds from something more sinister.
And to be honest with you, I'm just sort of winging it. I don't know what the hell was that? What's that? I've come up to that bit where the light was just shining. What? It's moved. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Where the hell is it coming from? This might have been what was reflecting that light. It says, if you find this card, please pay it forward to do something kind today. Well, it looks like there's some sort of drop off down here. It goes down quite far. I mean, the last thing I want to do is stack it down a hill. There are a lot of noises in these woods, but at the same time, if I was in the woods on a normal night, I'd just think it's normal. It's only because I'm thinking I'm on a ghost hunt, so every little noise, I'm like, is that a ghost? But in all honesty, it's fine. It's frogs and pigeons.
After wandering through the darker parts of the woods, he decided to return to the van because his flashlight was about to die. He tried to stay calm and focused, but as he stepped over uneven ground, his torchlight hit the ground at an angle, casting a strange glow across the cemetery. In a confusing moment, he looked up and thought he saw the shape of a man standing among the graves.
I'm starting to get a little bit lost, I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm going to head back towards the way that I came because I swear I keep seeing someone. Hold on. There's no one there. I swear there was. I think I'm gonna go this way, to be honest with you. What the hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the f? I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
His body reacted before his mind could process it. The figure looked still, upright, and out of place. Without stopping, he turned and ran as fast as he could back toward the path. When he finally reached the van, he quickly got inside and locked the doors. Sitting there in the quiet, he tried to think clearly. He admitted that what he saw could have had many explanations. It might have been a tree, a shadow, or even just his imagination reacting to the setting. But in that moment, standing alone in a dark cemetery, it had felt very real. By the end of the night, he set up a comfortable spot to sleep, using a heater for warmth, and reflected on the unique experience. Morning brought clarity as daylight revealed the cemetery, churchyard, and surrounding woodland in full detail. The video concluded with gratitude to supporters and a reminder of the channel's adventurous spirit. Another trip from the Taiga Explorer took him deep into the winter wilderness on March 2nd, 2024. The temperature hovered around -1 degree Celsius, and a week of bad weather was looming, but he needed to finish his winter tracking route. He left his sled behind to keep things lighter and loaded his snowmobile with gear, even though the extra weight made the ride tricky. The snowmobile sank into the snow at times, but he pushed on, determined to reach the remote hut at the end of the trail. Arriving, he was immediately relieved. The roof hadn't collapsed, and inside there was a huge stockpile of firewood. The sight was reassuring, as in a place this cold, running out of fuel could have been disastrous. He set to work chopping wood, cleaning the stove, and even trying his luck at fishing nearby for a potential dinner. But the day was far from simple. His chainsaw refused to start properly, forcing him to split wood with an axe. Every small repair felt tense in the biting cold. At one point, even checking the spark plug or carburetor became tricky. By evening, he decided to cover the snowmobile with a tarp, leaving it untouched until morning. With the hut quiet, he focused on drying clothes, stoking the fire, and cooking his simple meal. Yet the sounds of the creak of the roof, the crackle of the stove, and faint noises from the surrounding forest kept him alert. At one point, the atmosphere turned so eerie that every nerve in his body was taut with tension.
Вот этот звук только что был раза в 2 сильнее. По-моему, вся изба ходуном ходит. От нагрева пошли какие-то процессы.
The floorboards creaked. The walls let out soft groans. Even near the window, faint cracking sounds echoed through the shelter. Each noise made him wonder if something or someone was outside. He didn't dare step out to check. Instead, he stayed inside for the night, hoping for the best. By morning, after tea and packing up, he prepared to set out again. The night had tested his patience, skill, and nerves, and left a lingering question. What other surprises might the forest hold just beyond the trees? If these disturbing stealth camping encounters gave you chills, hit that like and subscribe button for more real-life camping horror. Join us next time, but beware. Some places are best left alone, and what lurks in the darkness is far from ordinary.